And here it goes. The recording is happening. So welcome, everybody. My name is Renny Doyle. I'm with Detailing Success. I've been detailing a long time. And tonight, we're going to share with you how to build up a legacy, not just a business, but a brand also and a lifestyle while you're doing it. So we're going to take and have some fun. Special thanks to my sponsors. I could not do this tonight without Flex Tools, PNS, of course, who builds the double black collection. Buff and Shine pads used on Air Force One, the RAD company, the official towels of Air Force One. Zenware, the official detailing software of Detailing Success, the Air Force One detailing team. And then Glassparency. Couldn't do it without these guys. All great companies. We want to reach out and thank them. A few of them are online tonight. So thanks, guys, for being with us. Now, special thanks. I already mentioned Harry, Jim, the original 9, the cast, the guys that were here in the very early stages. They helped kind of build up, disprove a lot of theories of what you guys are going to hear tonight. They're true industry ambassadors. They've been by my side the whole time. There's some serious badasses of detailing. We want to take and thank them. Here we go. You guys ready for this? We're going to get going. You may think that this guy started to think about legacy. That's me in the modern day time. But in reality, it really wasn't. Is that I was a different breed of young man, and I started to think about legacy well before the time that I became legendary, or legend as some would call it. I don't know if I'm buying that or not. But the one thing I've done is I've been successful in making money in the detailing industry. But it started back with this guy that I can barely remember. And it started when I had a vision, and I knew that coming up the way I grew up, pretty tough, that I did not want to be poor the rest of my life. And I wanted to create something that would go on beyond me. And that's exactly what we've done with our business. We're going to share with you tonight. So what does legacy mean from my perspective? I'm going to share this and make it pretty easy. It's not too hard. How your business affects you, your family, your future, your today, your tomorrow, and your long-term future. Looking out and about, maybe you're 20 years old, maybe you're 30, maybe you're 40, maybe you're 50. What you do today as a legacy will set you up for those times. Next on that list is the impact on your life, your mental, and your physical health. You know, it's hard to believe that you think, oh man, what can detailing do to my mental health or my physical health? Let me tell you, it's not detailing necessarily, it's business. And if you don't do it right, it's going to kick your hiney. So you want to make sure that you're in the right spot, that you're getting out, that you're living a life, that you're gifting yourself time with yourself, that you're doing the right things, and you're not beating yourself up mentally and or physically, because it happens all too much. What impact are you making on your future? What are you doing right now, today, that's going to put either something negative? All too often, we see too many people in detailing. Detailing is an easy to get into business relative to other businesses. It's getting harder and harder, but it's relatively cheap even today and going into the future to get into it. And unfortunately, we see that with pricing and the structure of our industry. A lot of times those bottom feeders come up and take and bite us in the butt. And that's part of the problem is what you're doing today, what is it going to impact, and what's it going to make your future look like? What impact are you making on your clients? Are you a positive? Are you selling yourself as a positive? You might think you are, but are you really, really doing it? You need to stay in contact with them and make sure what you're doing is the correct thing to do. What impact are you making on your localized community? You know, listen, all too many people are going to get into this tonight. They're not even looking at their localized community. They're looking at their names and lights. They're looking at what they're going to be when they grow up. Why don't you worry about right now and make sure that you take care of the community that's taking care of you. You get heavily involved in the community that's taking care of you, they'll get heavily involved in you. Simple as that. What are you doing for your industry? You know, a lot of people, they talk about the IDA, which we're a big part of, big promoter of, and a big believer in. And they say, you know, what can the IDA do for me? You know what? This is what the IDA can do for you. How about it's the industry that feeds you? How about it's the way that you make a living? How about you take and be part of improving it instead of dragging it down? How about you take and be a jet aircraft launching this thing instead of a boat anchor? How about you educate the bottom feeders and help bring them up just like others have helped you? So you know what? Are you feeding your industry? Are you doing what's right for your industry? You need to ask yourself that. And then what's your exit strategy look like? You know, when you get to a point to where you're either burned out or you've built another business or you've got enough money in the bank or you want to retire, what are you going to do? What are you going to hand it down to somebody? Is it a family business? Is it a true legacy business for your family? Is it a legacy business for your staff? Where are you going? Are you going to sell it and make money off of that? We're going to talk about all those things tonight a little bit. Now, some fact-finding missions. Okay, we're gonna tag this in. Did you know? Now, this is going back. Now, you know what? Let me tell you before we go into these Q&As. Did you know that I've worked with some of the biggest and brightest people in this industry? Now, a lot of you know PNS, probably one of the best relationships between Eat and Flex that I've ever had in my entire career. Those two companies are just outstanding. A lot of you don't know that I worked with Shell Aviation or Shell Oil Company for 10 years. I had a 10-year relationship with Shell Oil Company that I loved. I absolutely loved it. And probably the only reason it ended was a thing called the 2008 economy, the burst, the big recession, the Great Recession, as many people call it. That kind of sent it away. Even Shell got affected by it. We're going to talk about that tonight. Sonex, I had a great and still have a great relationship with Sonex. I've visited their factory. They're amazing people. Amazon, my book has done well over 50,000 copies on Amazon. They are my current publisher for my new book. I'm excited to work with them. They've been an absolute blessing. And AutoGeek, giants like AutoGeek and Detailing.com, and I can Detail Image, all these other companies I can go on and on and on about. And then you've got Zenware, you've got Red Company, you've got Buff and Shine. I've got all these companies that I've associated with, and here's why. I want to lay this out for you. I never posted on a forum. I read and learned, but did not have the time to post. You know why? I was too busy building my company app. Simple as that. I don't understand. Now, you guys, well, you didn't have forums back then. You know what? You're right. When I first got my start into detailing, but when I went modern times over 21 years ago, you know what? For you young folks, hey, if you're 30-something years old, or if you're even in your late 20s, guess what? I was your age and on forums. The difference between me and what's going on today is I was reading them. I really wasn't posting. I was just seeing what everybody's up to, and I was getting back to work. The next one, my first was on the same year that my business hit over $1 million in sales. As a detailing company, you know how hard that was? We'll get into that later also, because it's not necessarily good. I went to every trade event for two purposes: to learn and to network, to learn more. That knowledge was brought home to increase profits. That was it. I didn't go to pound my chest. I didn't go off the show. I didn't care if I saw another detailer. Back then at SEMA, I'm going to blow your mind right now if you're young. I'm going to blow your mind. Guess what? Jim Gogan and I went. We were lucky some years to see 5 or 6 other detailers, including us. 5 or 6 others. Now there's hundreds of detailers. It's changed a lot. But back then, we went to learn. We went to take and put into our business. That's what we went for. My relationship building was with customers and those who had influence on customers. I could care less about other detailers or showcasing my work to anyone outside of those who are going to become paying clients or influence others to become a client of mine. Simple as that. We're going to dive into that tonight, and I'm probably going to piss a few of you off with my words, but so be it. So here we go. Again, I worked with some of the best. My own road. I educated myself. You know, when I started out in college, I actually dropped out of college almost 6 months, a little over 6 months to go. I could have finished up my college degree, and I decided to get an attitude. And so I went back at the ripe age of 47, finished up my bachelor's degree, and it was awesome. But in the early days, when that picture of me was taken, I found serious mentors. I didn't grow up with a lot. I had to find them. I knew I didn't know it on my own. Even with my college education, I did not know it on my own. I wanted to find people that had been before me, done it before me, and were living lives that I appreciated. I didn't try to mentor others until my mentors felt I could. There's a lot of times I'd start spewing advice, and it wasn't always correct advice. My mentors really calmed me down. And I really didn't take a whole lot because you know what? I knew better because I could take, and I wasn't to the point that my mentors were. I learned nonstop and applied that to my own business. My business was the only business I was concerned with. I didn't get involved with other business. I networked like crazy, but you know what? I didn't go out and try to prove that I was something else. I wasn't King Kong pounding on my chest. I went to work and I built my own business up. Now, I cared for other people. I referred a lot of people into their businesses, people that owned businesses that were doing business with mine. I networked with them strongly, but I wasn't concerned about going out and proving to other detailers or any other industry. Diane and I, my wife, have been involved in many, many industries over my career, not just detailing. We weren't out taking and trying to impress those other industries. We're out to take and put food on the table and better our lives and make investments and build our business up. Simple as that. And live a great lifestyle. I had vision. I had big vision. Sometimes felt I was settling because you know what? Detailing is not like well, it's kind of turning into, for a lot of people, their names in lights. But you know what? Back when I was building a shop, it wasn't. And I'm sure some of you feel that way. I was like, man, can I do better than this? The answer is, you know what? Yeah, man, you could. You could. I've started a lot of other businesses up, but you know what? I wasn't born real affluent. I had to do everything from the seat of my pants. I had to launch this thing, pay for this thing, hold it up on my own, and I didn't have a lot of money to go into any fancy business. My dream growing up, I wanted to own a gym, man. I wanted to take and get in and own a gym. There was one little problem. Back in the 80s when I grew up, when I got out of high school, there was a big push with a company called Gold's Gym. They went from being a muscle type gym to a household name, and they are growing nationwide. And I couldn't compete with them. So, you know, my dream of gym ownership, I just didn't have the funds. Now, I could have foolishly put a bunch of money together and done it. But you know what? I didn't have the smarts either. My mentors made sure to know that I wasn't ready for it and I didn't make foolish mistakes. I plan. My life is a written plan. Even to today, I am a written plan. I planned out this webinar straight up by one slide at a time. Everything I do is planned and written. If it's not written, it isn't happening. I had somebody very famous tell me that. I executed that plan. That's something a lot of people are not doing, is they have a vision, they have a plan, they go out, they write this huge, what I call bank level plan that, Wells Fargo is going to give you $60 million to start a shop up and you're going to be the biggest and the best and you're going to fail. You've got to be real with yourself. And you know what? Most people don't take and strike out and follow their plan. They unfortunately follow their dream and vision and they forget about the roadmap, their plan. They set it to the side. They get all wild hair up their butt and then they go after it. I didn't. I executed that plan. I still do to today. I adapted. Things are going to change. You're going to have to adapt in your life and in your business. Let me tell you right now, we are living fat. I don't know of too many other times in my 52 young years on life that I've seen the economy going this good. It's going to slow down. And you know what? You've got to anticipate that. You've got to adapt. We're already looking at ways to take and keep ourselves nice and riding high without hitting the water and coming down. And I'm going to take and talk about sales cycles and so forth tonight. I invested into my community. I still do thousands of volunteer hours a year. And I'm telling you right now, if you're not putting back in your community, shame on you. I invested into my industries, not just industries. The industries I was involved in, I wanted to help. In this case, we don't just train for profits. We do webinars like this. We do webinars like I did last week with the IDA. We are involved in the IDA. We do a lot of things. I do a lot of speaking for the industry. We've always done that for our industry. Where can you help out? First thing is join IDA. Second thing is get involved in a committee, get involved in helping out. Don't sit there and hold still. If you hold still, you're just resting up. I respected my elders. This is something I'm going to get a little ticked off to, and you might hear me kind of say some potty words. So if I'm on speakerphone, you got kids around, this might be a good time to go ahead and take it off speaker. I saw value in my elders. I grew up with the greatest generation that's ever walked this planet. And that was the baby boomers, the gentlemen that landed on Utah Beach, the people that fought in the Pacific. Those were my idols. I looked at them. That was my grandparents' era. And you know what? I didn't see them as old people. I saw them as stories. I saw them as values. I saw them as pure gold, even as a little boy and still up to today. You will take and ask it's not because they fought a war or anything else. It's because they're amazing people that saw things that we couldn't imagine. We couldn't imagine. And they were on the golden cusp of taking and building the greatest country that's ever been on this planet, the United States. Sorry for foreigners. Love you. I love the countries I go to, but I'm a proud American. Here's the deal. Is our elders, the people that I looked up to, my mentors, were all older than me. Now, I've got some younger people that take and mentor me in different ways. I am not discriminative towards who it is. I took and put value into people and what they've got and what they're doing in life. The few times I lost respect for anybody, those were my lowest point in business and sometimes in my life. Here's how I lost respect. When they gave me advice and I didn't listen to it, and I said, you know what, I know better. I never disrespected them, but I should have listened to them. Because you know what? They were right. In the times that I've hit rock bottom, the times I've had really hard times in my life was when I didn't take or heed the advice of my mentors. Simple as that. You need to listen. I view them as a wealth wealth of life experiences, and I can only hope that one day I'll accomplish that and be viewed the same way. I've always had and always will give credit. This is massive. Some of you are not following this plan very well. I see some serious chest pounding going on, and there's a lot of things that you're laying claim to that I'm sorry, but people way before you, the golden era of detailing, did way before you came around, son. You need to calm down and realize, you know what? You're kind of new to the game. If you haven't been doing this 20 years, to us, the people, Jim Gogan's on the line to us, you're kind of new to the game. That's not putting you down. That's just a reality. Calm down. Stop being King Kong. You know what? Humble yourself. I was and I always will be loyal. Here's the deal. Have I ever broken it? I've broken the hearts of friends. Not very many times. I can count them on one hand. And it breaks my heart to think about the times I've hurt anybody. I don't like it. You need to feel the same way. You need to be loyal to a fault, even when it means you getting hurt. Answer these questions truthfully. Seriously. Is your home paid for? I want you to write these down as I go. Do you own a home? Okay. If not, why? Okay. Right now, man, prices are high. I'm not sure I'd buy right now. As I tell you that, I'm looking for a house. That's duh. But in the fact that we've made some money on real estate, we've made some money on different investments, it's time to upgrade. So we're doing it. But the deal is that I've already got one house paid for. The second one I'm taking and planning out at 52. Within 5 years, the second one will be paid for. Are you at the point where others would look at your financial situation and be impressed or depressed? So if I were to open your books up and you gave me full access to your personal books and your business books, would I be impressed or depressed? Write down yes or no. Are your sales cycles smooth year round? Meaning, are you pretty even? Are you busy as you want to be, pretty close to year round? Are you in debt at all? Do you owe credit card debt? Shame on you. Get rid of it. Pay it off. Been there, done that. Not too many times in my life. Only once or twice have I owed any debt on credit at all. I just don't like credit. I've never lived without credit. Are you the number one provider in your market and busy year round? Again, are you that number one? Now, number one doesn't mean the biggest. Number one means the most profitable. There's a big difference in that right now. Who do you think's the biggest and best? Who do you think's got a bigger marketing budget? Ferrari or Lamborghini? I think Ferrari puts a lot of money out. I think Lamborghini slides into that number 2 spot. I don't think they mind at all because they don't put a whole lot of money out on marketing. They don't have to. They're Lamborghini. Do other top players love or hate you? Could be a good thing. Now, I'm not talking top players, internet top players. There's a lot of YouTube certified guys talking big business right now. We'll see what happens when the economy slows down. That's going to take a lot of fools out of the game. Are manufacturers paying you for input? Are you doing it for free? This is a big one. You know what? You can't take product to the bank and cash it. So I understand getting free products cool, but most of you are doing it for the wrong reasons, simply bragging rights to impress others. Now, if you're marketing it right, there is an angle to this. If you're marketing it right and manufacturers are coming to you and you're marketing your clients and it's increasing your business, amen, brother. But if you're not, you're chest pounding. Are you invested in other businesses that are profitable? Meaning, you know what? Detailing is what I call a great stepping stone business. It's my main influence. It's my main income. Has been for over a couple decades. But you know what? We've always got our hands in other businesses. And you know what? The average millionaire, I say this on almost every webinar I do, 7 sources of income. How many sources do you have? Have you started multiple businesses? If so, how many of those did you sell for profit, close down, or failed? I hear a lot of people in the detailing industry, I've started 10 businesses up. Okay. Did you sell them? No. Yeah, still have them running? No. What happened? Well, I had a bad partner, so it failed. No, it didn't fail. Well, what did it do? Did you sell it? No. Yeah, it failed. Simple as that. Don't be a habitual business starter. Be a habitual business success. I don't care how many businesses you've started. Failure is not a failure. Failure, I've learned a lot. But you know what? In business, when you just waste money and throw it away, and again, comes back, you're not working your plan, you know what? That's not a success. You got to be really careful with that. So here we go. Next one. Okay. This is cool. We're getting into the meat of it right now. So here's the deal. I've learned that success in services business takes a decade to figure out. I know you guys are going to go, what? Matter of fact, some of you might go ahead and hang up right now and get out. That's cool because I want to listen to the people that are excited and are engaged. That's what I'm all about. 15 to 20 years to really get in mega earning position and even more time to get your business, you and your life in a spot that will blow your mind. I'm going to tell you a true story. Some of you already heard it. So pass me by if you heard. Yawn, say, Renny, shut up. Okay, the great Carol Shelby, me and a buddy of mine were walking through SEMA many, many years ago, probably close to 10 years ago. Matter of fact, it was really close because I just turned 40 right about then, or I was about ready to turn 40. And Rod Leitner, a good friend of mine, we were walking down, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Carol Shelby pops up. Man, we took the opportunities by himself. We walked up, we introduced ourselves, and I said, been a big fan. Rod said his piece. And I said, Mr. Shelby, if I may, can I ask you one question? I'm an entrepreneur. I'm at that age of 40 where it's like, okay, where's this thing going? And he goes, son, how old are you? And I said, 40, or getting close to 40. And he goes, son, you're still retarded. He goes, you know what? You won't even figure it out till you're 50. You're going to start making money when you're 50. By the time you're 55 and 60, it's going to be pouring in. You're going to be brilliant. At the age of 70, you're going to wish you were 50 again. And he said, but even then, I think he was close to 80 at that point. And he says, man, you could drop me off in Michigan butt naked and a year without a dime to my name. And a year later, I'd be back on top. You know why? Because I've got the drive and the smarts at this age to do it. At your age, you just don't have the smarts quite yet. And I was blown away. And you know what? The last decade, I've got to tell you, he was right. I thought I had it together in my 20s. Boy, how many of you got to 30 and look back at your 20s and go, wow, I was an idiot. And then I thought I had it together in my 30s, and I did. Those were the years that you're building things up, that you're building value, that you're investing, and so forth. But man, I got to 40, and I was like, damn, I'm starting to figure this thing out. Met Carol Shelby, he kind of blew all that, and then at 50, I look back, really my late 40s, 47, 48, and I was like, oh damn, he was right. And I'll tell you what, at 52, it's even better. Until then, I've learned that there are two types: those that listen, and then those that want to be heard. For the first decade, hush, speak little, and listen. For the next 5 years, learn how to communicate with your true success. At 20 years, teach others. Simple as that. Until then, learn to be a breeze, not a gust of wind. Too many of you guys are a tropical damn storm. Okay, you're a hurricane. Shut up. Simple as that. Calm down, listen, enjoy life, enjoy where you're at, and don't try to read too much into it. A breeze is nearly always appreciated. Enjoy and seen as a pleasure. A gust comes in, goes away, and many times leaves a messy path behind it. So what do you want to be? You want to take and realize later in life that you're a gust, or that you've enjoyed the breeze along the way? I'm going to tell you right now, the breeze is pretty nice. True legend versus social media legend. These are some of my friends, just a few. I wish I had 100 different spots here for pictures. These are some of the people, including myself, that enjoy life. Now, what I've learned is going all over the world. I've been in 6 countries this year alone, 2018. I'll be in another 5 or 6 next year. I was in 9 countries last year in 2017. We've been all over the country. I've learned this. There's a lot of social media legends out there that are dead broke. They're posting some amazing things on the internet, but when you meet them in person, they don't have a penny in their pocket. Nothing. The difference is some of the folks that I associate with that mentor me, and I coach them, and we help each other. They coach me, and it just goes back and forth, because one of these days the coach becomes the coached. And I'll tell you what, especially these people right here, the people I've met, Harry, that's on tonight, and I haven't looked at other Detail Mafia guys and friends of the Mafia, people that are in it, but good friends that have been an outstanding mentor and coach to me throughout my career. But I'm telling you what, true legends versus social media legend, you got to be really careful who you're listening to. If you put the same effort in offline as you do online, you'd be debt free. Let me tell you, there's a lot of people. What's the payoff of being a Facebook hero? Will it pay for your house? Will it pay your house off in the next 3, 5, 7, 10 years? If you're 30 years old, you know what? Get going. Stop posting and start spending some of that time in your local market and posting on the right online forums, not the wrong online forums with the right ideas. I see all too many that want to see their names up in lights. They're trying to impress other detailers, and you can't take that to the bank. Are you at a point where others would like look at your financial situation, be impressed and depressed, see your name in lights locally? You can be a local hero and take and make some serious greenbacks and stop trying to be a national, international guru. When the timing is right, it will happen. One of the best things that you can learn, you can get this. I don't care what age you are. I don't care if you're 20 or 60 and listening to this, is patience. Learn to be patient. Learn to take and start small, think big, and take and start building your plan. Start working your plan. You see your vision, you see your dreams, you write your plan down, how you're going to go about it, and you execute. It's good to have vision and goals, but some of you are putting the cart before the horse. There's some of you that just don't have too many dimes in the bank, but you're taking and talking like you got millions. Stop it. It's hurting our industry. It's not helping our industry. Know your place. Work your way into being a guru. And you know what? You can do it. I believe in you. Listen, if this fool talking right now can do it, you can do it. Anybody can do it. My story is an interesting story we don't have time to go into tonight. One of these nights I'll do it. But you know what? I'm serious. I'm not putting you down for wanting that dream. You just got to do that dream right. Okay, let's talk about debt. I hate debt. Can't stand debt. My wife's in another room listening right now, and she's hearing me. She can take, and she knows this from day one when I met her. I hate debt. Seriously. Now, there's some good debt, and there's some bad debt. Your home, within your budget, is good debt. Your shop, within your budget, is good debt. Your auto lease, it's 100% write-off. If your CPA, if your accountant is saying, hey, man, you need more write-offs, you're paying Uncle Sam too much, think about an auto lease. Investment properties and some business debt is good. I'm looking at a business loan right now that I could do some really creative things with. And so that's good debt because we can write some of that off. Now, bad debt, renting your home. You know what? You've got to get into a house. You got to pay that house off as soon as you can. You can go biweekly payments, and you'll really cut it down. There's some really, really fun things that you can do. There's some financial gurus out there. Listen, a lot of times in the morning, I don't listen to music. I love music. Anybody else love music? Tell me amen on the chat session. I love music. I live by music. My wife will tell you I've got music going all the time. But you know what? When I'm at the gym and first thing in the morning, I don't. I'm listening to gurus. Now, I'm not listening to detailing gurus necessarily. And you know what? By all means, I want you to listen. There's some amazing minds in our industry. Listen to them. That's part of your educational process. But you know what? I'm going out and I'm listening to financial gurus, man. I'm listening to Dave Ramsey's of the world and seeing what they're talking about. There's so many cool plans out there that can take and help you be debt free and teach you and educate you how to think smart with debt. Now, sad fact, if you're under 50 years old, it's estimated that 1/3 of your entire lifetime income will go towards consumer interest. That's credit cards, different accounts, not your house. That's just junk stuff, gas cards, stuff that you're going to pay interest on that you should be paying interest on. 1/3 of your income will go towards that. Stop it. Get rid of that debt. Get rid of it soon. Now, I love this one. I absolutely love this one. Everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its entire life believing that is stupid. Albert Einstein. Is that cool or what? Is that cool or what? I'm not going to tell you you're a detailer. You know what I'm going to tell you? You're a hell of a lot more than a detailer. But you know what? Right now, at this time, at this place, maybe, just maybe, you're not even a full-fledged successful detailer. Maybe you're trying to be, but be honest with yourself. You've got to start by being honest. I knew when we launched this thing 21 years ago, when I opened up attention to details, that you know what? Diane, my wife, I said, I want to go back into it, but I want to do it right. I don't want to do it wrong like it's been done for a long time. I want to be a big fish in a little pond. And we were, and I went out and I've executed it. And then I thought, wonder if I do this. But a lot of things is that I knew who I was, where I was, and I didn't pretend to be anything else. I concentrated on making my business a success and kept taking baby steps into other avenues and opportunities. Now, let me tell you, as you become more successful and people see that success, and you know what? Success smells success. People can usually smell a fraud. If you make it all about money, God, Bob Phillips of PNS and I, David's brother, we always talk about this, Keith DePlessis. You know, when it's all about money and you force it about money, guess what happens? It gets messy. But when it comes out natural and you're just all of a sudden opportunities to grow and climb above just detailing happen, man, it's amazing. I've been there. But you know what? Concentrate on doing what you're doing right now. Don't forget you're a detailer. Don't forget where you're going. Become damn good at that, damn profitable, and you're not going to believe what happens to you. But you know what? You're not a fish that climbs trees. You're not stupid. You've got a lot of opportunities sitting right in front of you. You just got to calm down and listen. Accept your realities and go after and change those realities. Do what you do and be the best the world has ever seen in your local market. Stop trying to be an international success. Kill it at home, and you're not going to believe what happens to you. I promise you this. If you take and you stop posting to take and influence other detailers and to impress other detailers, and you start spending that time offline marketing, building up relationships in your local market, how many hours a day do you spend Honestly, I've been here, guys. I get stuck in that little channel every once in a while. I'm not going to tell you I'm above that, but I catch myself real quick. And I got people around me, thank God, that love me and I love them. And they'll say, hey man, what are you doing? They'll check me on it. And I go, oh God, man, thank you. You know, what the hell am I doing? And so I'll come back to reality and you know what? I'll build it up. And the next thing you know, another big opportunity hits me and bam, there it is. Because I'm being true to myself, not making about money. I'm not being silly and I'm realizing who and what I am. Now, my career has grown to be a lot more than just a simple detailer, but it started with a solid foundation of knowing how to run a business and being very successful at it. Very successful. And all these things we're going to talk about here as we build up. Your top priority. This is Jim Gogan and I talk about it all the time. Your will to survive. I see so many people get into this and they start hitting hiccups. Let me tell you, we're going into a hiccup time. We're going to go into a period that's very challenging for much of the country. Now, if you're in Florida or if you're in parts of Arizona or some of the sunshine states to where, you know, all the take and the Michigan people and everything else, and the winter people come down in your market, this is your busy time. For the rest of the country, for 80%, 90% of the country, we're going into the lean times of the year. You've got to pull through this. You've got to be able to get a second job. You can't go into debt. You can't hurt your family. Your will to survive this, pull through. I can't tell you, Jim Gogan, one of the guys that helped create this, everything I'm talking to you about right now over the last 12 years that we've known each other, is here's the deal, guys. Our number one thing we keep coming back to saying is there was times we wanted to quit. The only difference between us and the other guys is we didn't. So you've got to take and bring it through. You've got to bring it through. One emotion that you've got to control in this whole thing is fear. Is you can't be so freaked out on moving ahead or moving backwards. You can't be so freaked out about facing your realities that it upsets you, that it takes you off your course, that it takes you off your vision, takes you off your dream, and most importantly, it takes the plan out of you. You have got to keep in check fear. Now, military and in search and rescue, you know what? Fear will either kill you or save you. Is that people that have no fear, famous last words here, hold my beer and watch this. You know, they don't have any fear, they're in trouble. The people that we pick up that we're bringing out, they're saying, I'm going to die, I'm going to die, I'm going to die. A lot of times they die. But the people that face the fear and they say, hey, man, help me get through there, we're going to help them the very best we can, and their odds greatly increase when they face and deal with fear appropriately. Here's the deal, what I want you guys to work on. When you get really excited about something, stop, drop, and roll. What I mean by that, I'm not going to go back in slides, skip ahead of it. Stop, think about it, okay? Roll on it overnight and just stop, drop, and roll. So stop, think about it, okay? Drop, roll on it overnight. Just think about it overnight. Don't move on anything. Don't post a follow-up to a customer that just slammed you on social media. Think about it, give it a night, and then roll with it the very next day, or roll with it the next hour, or roll with it after your mentors talk to you. Don't take and roll on things too fast. Now onto the slide. Sorry, skipped over one. The number one cause of death to a service, not really service business, to a detailing business is ego. Your ego is not your amigo. Leave the ego at home. Stop it. It's wild. Joe Fernandez posted something about it. I can't remember exactly how it went, but basically, he wonders if plumbers take and put a selfie with the toilets that they install, on social media. God, you guys, stop it. Go after and start treating this thing like a serious business and start marketing to customers, not to other detailers. Okay, number 2, nasty dips and highs in sales cycles. Okay, out of everything I'm going to share with you, this is one of the most important things. Okay, I want to take and show it to you over to the left. Here's the legacy businesses. They market 24/7, 365 days a year at all levels of busy times. A legacy business or a successful business, they won't wait for things to slow down. They're going to keep marketing through the busy times because they know the more, I want you to listen to this, the more stable that their marketing is, the more stable their income is, the more stable sales are going to be. They market at every point in the sales wave. This way they miss the crashes and massive falls. So if you look over, I'm going to bring my cursor right up here. Let's go all the way to the base, right over on the left in the red. When sales are really low, a successful business, a true entrepreneur, is going to be marketing. When sales are average, they're going to be marketing. When sales are popping big, they're going to be marketing. Now, they might be marketing heavier down when sales are average and when sales are down, but they're not going to stop their effort of marketing when sales are really good, because what's happened is when things slow down, they're going to crash. By comparison, a fly by the britches business, they're going to take and they're going to go, oh man, I'm so busy, I don't have time. We just had that occur. Man, I'm so busy, I don't have time for this. I can't even be thinking about this. No, that's when you should be thinking about this. Is right now what you are is here on the top of a crash, and your oh shit moment is going to be there when the crash has already happened, and you're starting to market and you're going, oh my God, what happened? I'm going to go out of business. I hear that every single day. Is Renny, I want to pick your brain. I'm really hurting. Well, how's your marketing program? You know what? I have word of mouth. I never have to market. Bullshit. I'm going to call bullshit right then. I applaud you that you've got such a great word of mouth business. That's awesome. But on the backside of that, man, you don't see McDonald's got a great word of mouth business. Whether you like them or not, McDonald's got a lot of business. Do you ever not see a McDonald's commercial? No. You don't. Toyota sells a shitload of cars. Do you still see Toyota commercials year round? I'll give you one right now. One of the biggest. When's the last time you saw a Yamaha? Check this out. You bike guys are going to love this. When's the last time you saw a Yamaha tattoo on somebody? Send me a message. I'm going through 1, 2. Nope, nobody's responding. When's the last time you saw a Harley Davidson tattoo? Okay, people put their brand on the damn skin. Is that crazy or what? I got a theory. Tattoos. I love tattoos. I've just been a chicken to get one done. My kids tell me, Dad, you just don't put a bumper sticker on a Ferrari. And I was like, damn, that's good. I like that. But here's the deal, is that, you know what? Harley Davidson, as popular as they are, they always keep marketing. Yamaha, they're one of the biggest producers of vehicles in the world. If you look at how many scooters that they build internationally, globally, they're massive, but yet they keep marketing. So why do the giants keep marketing? Because they understand the sales cycle wave. You as an entrepreneur have got to take and understand the sales cycle wave. It's something that I train on in our training program. It's something that the Detail Mafia and a support group does. It's something we talk about daily, all the time, nonstop, is your sales cycle wave. You can't stop marketing. A little break. Okay, I got to take and pay some bills. So I train those serious about the art and skills of detailing, but more importantly, tying those skills to profits and lifestyle. That's what I go after, guys. I think that the Detail Mafia members are some of the best detailers in the world. I think they could take and dominate. If there's in our competitions, I'm blown away at what they can do. But you know what they really dominate in? Standing in line at the bank, making deposits, waiting for their credit card statements to make sure everything went through. They're really good at that. I only train, coach, and mentor 48 students per year. Our training is unique and only 4 students per course. November 28th, I have 1 training spot open. 2 in January. I am completely sold out in October and December. If you're interested in the November spot, there's contact information down there. And we'd love to take and have you. One of our students had to take and reschedule because of a family tragedy or family event. And so we've got 1 spot open for that. Okay, paid the bills. Tradesmen's case studies. Now, this was something that I did on my own, very on my own. I got a lot of people I know, a lot of different tradesmen and skilled individuals. So this is who I went out and I talked to. I talked to a master chef, a restaurant owner, somebody that was cordon bleu trained, that has worked at the top level restaurants in the world. Get this, in the world. This chef is amazing. I talked to my brother, who's a master electrician, a contractor, just successfully sold his business. I talked to my cousin, my cousin that's a master plumber contractor. I talked to a master car painter, an absolute guru here in Southern California that's owned a business, a legacy business that his kids have now taken over. I talked to a master machinist here in town, a business owner, a young guy in his 30s, on what he thought of the trades and so forth. I talked to a CPA, a mega successful CPA, my command sergeant major in the military, emergency room doctor, and an entrepreneur. Matter of fact, this guy puts people back together. But also, if you watch the enemies, if you watch the Emmys, or if you watch any of the big Hollywood shows, he has got the staff on site for all the doctors, medics, and all that good stuff that take care of the shameless of Hollywood. I mean, the rich and shameless. I mean, the rich and famous of Hollywood. And then detailer. This is from my own experiences. All of the above have multiple commonalities that we're going to talk about right now. You ready for this? Outcome of this case studies. Apprenticeship period, 3 to 7 years. Allowed them to perform professionally at the base levels. I don't care. Everybody, I asked them, how long of apprenticeship? Now, we knew that by hiring staff that were green out, that had a little bit of do-it-yourself or maybe a little bit of pro experience, to get them up to our level where we needed to be, at 3 to 4 years, they could pretty much take care of the majority of things in shop, except for the top level, skill level things. They just couldn't. And they couldn't manage. They couldn't manage money. They couldn't manage inventory. They couldn't manage staff and everything else. It really took about 7 to 10 years to get them up to that knowledge. But to basically perform where we needed to perform professionally and at a really high level, apprenticeship period. Starting to make an impact stage, 7 to 10 years. This is the period where you get to really know your stuff. Investments into business, retirement, other businesses start to take place in this stage. At this stage, the sales cycles are subtle changes, and savings investments grow. Families are started, houses are purchased, and smart debt is a reality, and bad debt is recognized. At this starting to make an impact stage, that 7 to 10 years, this is where we've seen over 400 businesses that I've trained and mentored and coached. This is where we start seeing them. They're really building up. So in that 7-year mark, they might have bought a house back in the 3 to 4 to 7-year mark, but now they might be upgrading that home, or they're paying it down. A few really smart ones are paying it off. Other ones are invested in other. We've got one of our Jason Lobato in our group, the president of the IDA. He's investing in other businesses right now. It's awesome to watch. Jim Gogan, another one of our masters. If you don't know Jim, you need to meet him. He's the quiet giant of the industry, as I talk about him. He's got a great business that offers many services. Now, mastering profits 15 to 20 years in. The profits rolling easier. You don't bother with bad money. You know what to take. You don't take junk jobs. Your lifestyle with smart work is the norm, but you still know how to do your work and work your ass off. That is the point. I'm telling you, that 15 to 20 year mark, that's what Carol Shelby was talking about, was building it up. You're taking vacations. You're really living life good. Joab, that's in our group, that's here out of Southern Cal. I love watching him. He's in this. Now, I think he's a little ahead of schedule, as is Justin, as is some of the other people in our group. They're ahead of this. That's why we mentor and coach them. That's why us older guys pay the dues. Our scars are deep, and we don't want them to have to go as deep as we did. The total package. At about 20-year mark, you're living the good life. But remember, you're a small business owner. You still guide the ship, and you still are the face and voice of the business. Now, this is a fun stage. If you're 20, 25, that means you're going to be 40, 45. That's not a bad deal, because you look at your parents and ask yourself, at what quality of life were they calling their own shots? A lot of them weren't. Unless they're self-employed, you're going to be calling your own shots throughout the whole time frame. And at a relatively young age, you can take and really, really realize some success. Now, you older guys that got into it older, your life experience could play into this and cut this down significantly. Now, what our goal is to cut your apprenticeship period. Your apprenticeship period. It's going to be 3 to 7 years, no matter what. You could take it down to 3 or 4 years, but it's going to take you that long to really become proficient at the base levels of all aspects. That's being an entrepreneur. That's having your finances. That's having the total package. Now, this is where we hope to cut things down. Starting to make an impact stage, we really want to get that down to that 4 to 7 year mark. The mastering profits, we really want to get that down to 10 to 15 mark. We want the younger generation to reach that total package at about 20 years and about 15 years. That's our goal, is that for Jim and I. Can you do it faster than that? A select few of you, if you've got your personality really honed in, I mean, that's important. If you've got your people skills really honed in and you've got your finances really honed in, yeah, you could cut it down. No lie. You could. The rest of you, probably not. But if you hone in all those things and you've got the perfect storm of personality, of ability, of smarts, of business savvy, and mentors and coaches behind you helping you, you'll cut it down. All stages warning of current trends. Some of you are taking your eye off of what you do and what you are. That makes the hair on the back of my neck stand up, because the next economic slowdown, you're going to see a lot of people say bye-bye. We've seen this before, just in 08 through 2011. A lot of the people that were playing this game, they're no longer involved. They're gone. They didn't survive. And it's really bad. It's too bad that they did that, because if they just would have concentrated on who and what they are in their local market, they would have survived that, and they'd be in a good position. Building a legacy business, apprenticeship period, 3 to 7 years, allowed them to perform professionally, started making an impact 7 to 10. Again, cut it down, and then mastering profits 15 to 20. You can see where we really want to cut this stage down for all of you. If you're young or old, look at these numbers. It can be done. You just got to be really smart about it. And for the first time in our industry's history, we can cut a third of the time that it takes you to take and become successful and financially stable. In closing, settle down, talk less, listen more. Till you can open your mouth, your financials up, and be proud to show them to a Craig. Well, this isn't going to make anything. A Craig McKay or myself, you're talking too much. You have some serious mentors around you. Start respecting that. You've got people that have been around this industry for a long time that are trying to help you. Dream, vision, plan, execute. Guys, it's simple as that. Write that down right now. Okay? Dream. You've got a dream to be successful. Vision, you've got that vision going of what it's going to look like. Now take and combine that dream and vision with a plan. Now take your plan and have your mentors take a good look at it. Now, if your mentors don't understand detailing, detailing is a little different game. And I've seen a lot of my top mentors. I got some of the greatest mentors in business, man. Billionaires that have taken me under their wing. They didn't quite understand it. Now, one of them was kind enough to tell me, you know what, don't listen to me 100%, listen to me 80%, because you're going to have to give me input on your industry because I don't quite get it. I'd usually give him input on something if I didn't agree. He'd usually come around and adjust it. And we reach a term in the middle somewhere. And then execution, that's what's missing, is the execution. So many people get off track. When you find yourself off track, go back to P, the planning stage. Look at your plan, read it, and go back to executing it, the plan exactly. Love it or leave it. Stop the yo-yo. It's killing you in your business. When you start to say, man, I'm not sure if I can make it. Man, I'm not sure if I like that. Guess what? That attitude, I really never went into the whole energy thing, but it is. As you get older, you realize the energy you're sending to the message you're sending to other people is that you're not in it to win it, and they're not going to believe in you. You and your family, number one. If your family doesn't believe in your dream, you're not going to succeed. Simple as that. But if your clients pick up on it, your top level compliant clients, you got some savvy people. If I'm your business, if I'm doing business with you and I get that intent, guess what? I'm probably not going to be doing business with you. I want winners. I don't want to be doing business with yo-yos. Tracking every penny, I know, and understand where every dime came, went, and goes to today, yesterday, in the past, and I even plan out for the future. Everything went into the bank, and as I tracked every penny, that has brought value to my business. I know a lot of you, I'll give you a cash discount. No, because you know what? When you go to sell your business, guess what? It's not worth as much. Put it in the damn bank and figure out how to invest straight up. Pay your damn taxes, pay your workers' comp, stop doing things illegally, do it above the board, and you'll build something that's worth value that you can sell in the future. Exit strategy. What are you going to do with this business? You're going to keep it, hand it down to a family member, hand it down to your staff, sell it? My thoughts, boy, try to keep it. There's a couple businesses I regret selling, and sometimes I wish a couple of our locations we had, I would have kept even a minor partnership, 20-25%, because I watched they've kept going, and I could have made something off of it all this time and made a lot more money over the long haul than I just did by selling it. Stop complaining and rise up. If you don't like how things are going, get involved. Many of you have really stepped it up. Many more have not. If you want to go to the top, step it up and be part of the movement. Get involved in the industry. Simple as that. More importantly, be a brand and an industry ambassador in your local town. If your detailers are running all over the place and they're undermining you, get them involved in the IDA. You want to take and level the playing field, get your competition to educate themselves. Don't turn against them. Take and turn towards them and help them out. That's going to increase your value tenfold. What's the message you are sending to the industry? My free words, this may piss some of you off. A lot of you are just pounding your chest, and you're you know what? You're bragging to other detailers. I see a whole lot of people on Facebook on the detailing forums. I don't see you in the Porsche forums. I'm part of the Porsche forums. I don't see hardly any detailers involved in that. I'm in the Jeep forums. I'm in the truck forums. I'm in all these different forums, and I watch. And I own a couple of these cars that I just mentioned, and I don't see detailers utilizing those forums correctly. Simple as that. But I sure see you guys active with other detailers. Detailers don't put money in the bank, guys. Do you really want to rise up? I train for success and lifestyle. Get involved in the industry. Get involved in the network. Get involved with us. We'd love to have you. Watch who has your ear and business mind. I'm going to tell you this right now. If you go to people that aren't successful, they're going to want to strip you down. If you go to people that are super successful, that own big businesses, they're not going to understand. You've got to get involved with people that understand small automotive related service businesses. That's who you need to go to. You also need to take and go to people that understand finances. Your best friend in business should be your accountant, your CPA. Simple as that. Please share and say a few kind words if you like this. We'd love to take and have you share something. You're going to see me post in a couple of the different forums. Thanks for those who attended. So I really love it if you'd share this on social media and kind of help us build our brand. We love bringing these classes, and it helps when we get support and brand recognition. My many thanks to my sponsors and the entire Detail Mafia. We want to thank them. And then also we're going to open it up real quick and see if we have any questions. So let's go over to questions and see if we've got anybody that, wow, we got a lot of, wow, look at that, all over. Kevin, man, hey, what's up, buddy? So, oh, wow, for some reason my Q&A thing, I can't, it's not working for some reason. So, oh, man, Kevin, you asked me a question. A lot of people, amens. Start small, think big. Kevin, yo, baby, right? That's exactly it, man. And Kevin's a guy that's really executed his plan well. He's hit some brick walls like many of them have. We've been friends through those brick walls, and it's been awesome to see him. Craig from Portland, right on Puerto Rico. I'm sorry I can't go in for some reason. It won't let me click on these questions and answer them. So that's kind of sad. But we want to thank you. We've almost ran out of time. I wanted to thank you for all attending. Again, we'd appreciate any kudos and love that you've got on social media. If you've got questions, go ahead and post it over on Detailing Success on Facebook. It's easier to interchange on that under this post and underneath this topic over on Facebook. I'll actually put up a thank you for attending. And if you've got any questions, I'm going to do that right now as soon as we get off. I'll post that up and just ask any of your questions there. I'll go in and over the next day, answer and make sure to answer all of them. So, hey guys, I hope this helped you out. Go out, be loud within the right audiences, love each other, be an industry ambassador, be successful, be happy, live a life while you're building your business. Take care. Happy detailing all. Talk to you soon.